Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lou, how's everything on the island?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I bet, huh?
Gorgeous day.
Is there a sea breeze coming in?
Oh, of course. Almost always.
This morning.
No.
Nice. No?
When I left, it was beautiful.
It was I was out this morning. I took a walk down to the lake. Jesus, I could have just sat there and sat there and sat there. I didn't want to walk back up to the house.
I know, it was gorgeous.
But it was, and the lake was like a piece of glass. When it's like that,
yeah.
Oh, man.
And you had loons, you said?
Yeah.
You're talking with the loons?
There's 2 loons on the lake now. And I'll tell you, the sound they make, it's eerie, really.
Yeah.
It is really eerie. First time I really appreciated it, I was in a hot air balloon, and we were up in Kittery, Maine.
Yeah.
And we came over, I don't know the name of the lake, but we came over a lake or a pond, and there was 4 of them on there. You should have heard them. I mean, it was.
How come I never heard the hot air balloon story?
Oh, I'll tell it. I'm not going to tell it to you now.
Okay.
We don't have time. But we're going to do a show where you and I are just going to shoot the breeze.
Okay.
We're not going to have anybody like this guy sitting next to us.
No, you don't want me.
No, of course not. Jesus, no. Well, let me introduce Jim Norris.
Hello, everybody.
And you've heard of the B Street Bombers?
Yes. Who hasn't heard of the B Street Bombers?
The following they have is absolutely incredible. They're going to be at the feast this year on Sunday night. They're going to close the feast out, and that's by design.
Of course.
Jim, welcome to the Sicilian Corner. You want to be called Jimmy, Jim? What do you want to be
Jim's
called?
fine. Squaw's fine. That's my nickname. Everyone in the band calls me Squaw.
What is it?
Squaw.
Squaw?
Like the sound that a seagull makes, because when I was a kid, my mother made me this nice Italian sandwich. I went on the beach. I turned my head, and the seagull came down and went, squaw, grabbed my whole sandwich. So what I used to do when we'd play a gig, if someone got served, I would take their meal and hide it on them. And then when I give it back, I'd go, squaw.
You know, since you brought up nicknames like that, John Tomaselli, who I've been friends with for a lot of years, he's got a nickname, and he's called Tomato.
Yeah.
Can you please tell our listening audience why John Tomaselli?
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the name started way back on Garden Street, Newbury Street, and Carmen DeMarco used to call him Tomato, and John hated it for some reason. So when Carmen told me that he used to call John Tomato, of course,
You had to keep it going.
I had to keep it going. Being from Lawrence, you just nail it till it becomes part of your
Especially
persona.
if it gets under the skin.
Oh.
But it ended up not getting under his skin, and now he kind of likes the name. Everyone calls him Tomato, and he just goes along with it. So it's pretty funny.
The B Street Bombers have been around for how many years?
44 years.
Louis,
September.
can you imagine that?
I can.
44 years.
Unfortunately, I can.
We're kind of like the, the minor league Rolling Stones, if you will.
There you go.
Right?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hey, listen, everybody, why don't you give us a call? You have a question? You want to make a comment about the B Street Bombers? You got a question for Jim? Telephone number 978-659-0072. Once again, 978-659-0072. And we'll be more than happy to listen to what you have to say. Become part of the show. That's what we're here for. Right now, Andy Parisi just wrote in and is saying hello. And Andy's come a long way. You were talking about you had hip surgery last year, was it?
That's correct.
And it's been a long road back.
Yes, but I'm back.
And Andy's recovering from a fall, and he's doing so much better now. It's unbelievable. So it's always good to hear from our listeners. And if you want to write something on Facebook for us, and we'll be more than happy to acknowledge it and read it. The weather today, I just got to go back to this. This is perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. I want to bottle it. I want it to stay like this all the time.
Oh, it'd be gorgeous. Yeah.
People that like humidity and the heat, kabazoo. You can't do anything. You always feel dirty.
Yeah.
I'm a sweater naturally. Okay. I mean, I'll be driving around on my lawnmower and I sweat. Why? I'm not doing anything.
It's humid. It's New England.
I mean, the thing has got power steering. But I noticed also today, I don't know if you know this, but I want to call it to your attention. This is a National Enforcement of Speeding Day.
Uh-oh.
Don't.
There you go, Jack Webb. Go get him, baby. Go get him.
Just the facts,
But,
man. Just the facts.
You would never
I'm
know
glad
it.
you brought that up.
You would never know it on 93 this morning. There's a lot of people that memo did not reach.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I see things on the highway now that they scare me. I mean, as kids, we were crazy, you know. I mean, when they first built 213 at the bridge on House Street, the bridge that crosses over.
Yep.
There was a white line right there. And that would be when you were drag racing, that's where you'd have to line up on a Saturday night and you would race down 213 going toward Methuen. And that was the kicks. I mean, we made sure there was no traffic. We slowed cars down sometimes, but these guys would race on that highway like it was freaking crazy. And some of them had some pretty powerful cars. David San Antonio, a few of the guys really had some cars, and everybody would be up on the bridge. Oh, all the high school kids would be up on the bridge, and they would have these races, and it would be like 11:30 at night, and there wasn't much traffic anyway, and they would have a hell of a time. But there was two white lines.
Yep.
There was a white line to begin. There was a white line, was a quarter, and there was a white line in two lines, and that was a half mile. But Jesus, it was, I mean, that was our kicks. That was what we used to do. But zigging and zagging,
yeah, that's what bothers me, the weaving in and out. Yeah.
And today, Jim, if I had a motorcycle, I'd keep it polished. I'd put it in my parlor and I'd look at it because I wouldn't want to drive it. I wouldn't want to be in a motorcycle with drivers today.
No, too many cars.
I mean, even a heavy car. I mean, Jesus, the accidents that take place, especially in New Hampshire. For some reason, New Hampshire, we've had more fatalities in a short period of time, and I don't understand it. But I think people are preoccupied, maybe.
Cell phones.
That's one thing.
There you go.
Cell phones.
That's
people
one
don't
thing.
they can't leave their phone alone, even when they're driving.
You know,
weaving aside, because I hate the weaving.
Yeah.
But what would you rather have? Someone going 75 or 80 or someone going 45 or 50?
I get your point. I get your
I
point.
hate people.
No,
You're in
no,
the middle lane
no.
going 60 miles an hour.
Aunt Grace in the middle lane at 50 can cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you know, you try to do the right thing and all of a sudden, you know, you've had enough and you're going to pass her and you're going to go on the inside or the outside. And then you've got somebody doing 75 coming at you. They catch up to you real quick.
Yep.
And people tailgate. Jeepers creepers.
That's the part that scares me. They don't understand that 10 feet every 10 miles or whatever it is, something like that. So
I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't know the answer to that one. You've nailed a lot of things this morning off the air, but I knew you were going to screw that one up.
How do they mess up? Was it 10 feet?
I'm not going to tell you because I don't really know.
I think it's 10 feet for every 10 miles. So if you're doing 60, you should be 60 feet behind, something like that.
You don't know?
A car length per 10?
The professor doesn't know?
Something like that.
I think he's right.
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Hey,
what do I know about road rules?
Do you want a lifeline? We'll call somebody. You want to call your brother?
No. He doesn't drive anymore.
I think it's a car length per 10, but which is about 10 feet, a little less.
Yeah.
Jim, Nancy, the marker saying hello.
Hello.
They're going back and forth, Nancy and Andy. And
all right. So, Jim, let's look back over the 44 years. I'm going to ask you, what's the gig that comes up? What's the gig, the highlight of the career of the B Street Bombers?
Okay. This is going to sound a little weird, all right? We were doing this really high-end wedding. It was kind of mob type wedding.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And we did Mama, a song that we wrote, me and my brother Louis wrote. And everyone's coming up to this guy kind of kissing his ring. Turns out he's the father to the son getting married. So when we ever did Mama for the son to dance with his mother, all of a sudden the tears come pouring out. It was one of the most emotional things I've ever witnessed in my life. You know, big guy, powerful guy, and all of a sudden he's crying like a baby over this song, which told me we nailed it.
Yeah,
you know, this song
you got under his skin.
Chronologically follows a son from the date of birth, going to school, to getting married, to getting on with his life. and it just hit this guy, and that always stuck in my mind, that particular thing. But other than that, I think when we backed up Tower of Power, that was
where?
That was another Boston hotel. It was, I forget, it was some kind of Christmas party, and they hired Tower of Power, and they had us backing them up, and that was
Wow.
that was phenomenal.
Blast. Yeah.
To actually be like right on stage at the same as those guys, right?
Yep.
That was
Oh,
incredible.
the killer.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your members? I know you have probably maybe 5 of them that graduated from Berkeley School of Music.
John went to Berkeley. Ray DiMartino went to Berkeley. I believe Mike Grady went to Berkeley. Russ Ryan went to Berkeley.
I think Lou went to Berkeley.
Yeah, Lou went to Berkeley. Lou Garofalo, ex-trumpet player Matt, not only went to Berkeley but worked at Berkeley. And the rest of us are just Lawrence musicians that love to play music.
You know, I have to tell you, I had a wonderful experience in doing a show in the Berkeley Auditorium. I don't know.
Been there, played there myself.
With that wood on the wall.
Oh my God!
Beautiful room. Yeah.
Seen Roy Orbison and some rockabilly band there. That was incredible.
The acoustics.
Yes.
The only thing is, you know, they have 2 levels. They have the main floor, then they have, say, a balcony area, and then another floor above it. They have nothing for access for people that are handicapped.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the sound. But putting the show together, you know, I was used to working in Lawrence, working with the Lawrence cops, many of them which I knew, and trying to get the permits in Boston and trying to put it together without knowing who you needed to talk to, where you had to go. Man, I was losing it big time.
Oh yeah.
They had me running through hoops.
That's why the Garden never had a big concert schedule, because unions just screwed everything up. They couldn't pull anything off in the Garden.
They make it so hard.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, in the city of Lawrence, we've been very, very fortunate. We've had people in charge, mayors in charge, that see how important tradition and customs are to people. And I really believe that any kind of something that marks your history, where you came from, St. Patrick's Day Parade, I'm going to throw that out. Marie Goslin, God bless her. She worked her butt off. She was like a one-man show.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything's got to come to an end. I get it. But I can't understand why cities, there has to be money. You talk about trying to put a city in a positive light, especially, let's take the city of Lawrence, because I grew up in the city of Lawrence. Jim grew up in the city of Lawrence, and he's still there. And, you know, you'd think that the cities would encourage, you know, they have the Spanish Festival. That's great. People go, have a good time. To me, I think that's important, but there's no breaks involved. In other words, if you're going to hire a police detail and you have to have so many members by the number of how many people you're going to have in your crowd.
Right.
Well, the rate is astronomical. It costs an awful lot of money. And as a 501c3, a lot of them can't afford to do that. That's why one by one in the North End, let's take the North End, Jim, you see a lot of feasts disappearing.
Yeah. Because
they cannot make it. They're not making enough money to run it.
Right.
And between the fire departments, between the police department, I'm just, you know, DPW, it's almost impossible to do. So every year we've been losing one feast here, one feast there. And it's sad, because I think that the cities should push their culture, whether it be German, whether it be Irish or Italian. Mm-hmm. They should promote it and draw people in from other areas of Massachusetts and New Hampshire to come to their feast and be part of it, because it'll bring back a lot of, we're all getting older, no question about it. I mean, we've lost a huge segment of people who would come to say the feast in Lawrence. You know, you see them every year after year. They wanted to sit in the same place.
Yeah.
They just loved it. And they're not there anymore. So we're drawing a younger crowd. Does the Feast of the Three Saints mean anything to them? Maybe. Are they coming just for a good time? More than likely, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion. I've been a member of the society for 26 years. And, something I wish the cities would do more to try to promote the cultural and keep the traditions alive. I really do. I think that's keeping a city healthy, in my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is going forward, but you hate to see these organizations have to rely on going from a feast for 3 days down to a procession on a Sunday. That's not a good sign. No. That's not a good sign.
And the other thing is all the nice food that you get to experience through different cultures that that becomes part of your table after a while. Like, even whether it be Latin food, Chinese food, Mexican food,
Korean. Yeah.
I mean, people unite around food all the time.
No, it's important. It's important. I mean, my Nana Messina lived on Garden Street. Mm-hmm. And man, I'll tell you, the thrill for her, she couldn't walk too far, but she would walk down Garden Street and get on Union, and she'd stand there while the band came by and the Saints came by. I mean, it was really pretty good. Hey, listen, I'm up against the break, so I want you to look at the commercial. I'm very proud of these commercials. All right,
sure.
Let me know if you get hungry.
Okay.
Okay, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
I got an appetite. I'll get hungry.
All right, Louis, take us out, buddy.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
This Labor Day weekend, bring your entire family for the 101st Annual Feast of the Three Saints in Lawrence. The best Italian food, free parking and entertainment, and carnival rides for the kids. Stop by the Beer and Wine Gardens and enjoy a great lineup of entertainment. On the bandstand Friday night at 7, it's the Full Circle Band, followed by Scanzonati at 8. The Bellas perform at 6 on Saturday night, and at 8, it's Ray Mass's Euro Rhythms. At 4:30 on Saturday, stop by the Cultural Tent for a cooking demonstration with Chef Oscar Figueros from Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, and the B Street Bombers close out this year's feast entertainment Sunday night at 8:30. Come celebrate over 100 years of Italian food, fun, and entertainment at this year's Feast of the Three Saints, August 30th through September 1st in Lawrence. Follow the signs from the Marston Street exit on 495. Sponsored in part by Eastern Salt Company, Trident, Jackson Lumber and Millworks, Tripoli Bakery, Market Basket, Cottadella Funeral Home, JG's Ice Cream and Fun Center, Donna's Sausage, and Wind Waste. Visit threesaintsinc.org.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com. Or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, as they say. Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Jim Norris is our in-studio guest, co-chair, the whole enchilada. He's got the sunglasses on to look cool.
Yep.
He's going to do
Jeff
a little...
Flynn, yellow.
There you go. A little bit of Ray Charles. You know, we can get into that.
Unchain my heart. That should be my brother Louis.
He'd be funny. He's good. He's
he's
very good.
got a great voice. Still got it. He still belts it out, and he's still a ham in front of the audience.
You know something? There's nothing wrong with that. Being a ham is good sometimes.
No, that's what you have to be when you're covering the front.
That's it. You know, a lot of our listeners want to know how the name B Street Bombers came to be.
Okay.
Some know the story, some don't. But we have a lot of new listeners.
Okay, here's the real story. Back in the day, we put together a softball team to fundraise for cancer. And my brother Louis says, why not call it the B Street Bombers? So we did. the softball team.
Mhm.
So fast forward a few years later, I'm putting together a band with Neil Schneider, a real visionary for local music. This guy was the greatest for putting bands together and giving them somewhere to play. And we're thumbing around for a name, and then all of a sudden my brother Lou again says, why don't we just use the B Street Bombers? Because I lived on Bromfield, he lived on Bennington. So that was why
that was the beginning of the
that was the
street name.
beginning of the B Street Bombers. But then we just shifted it from the softball team
I
to the band.
I like it.
I like
I
it,
like
yeah.
it. Did you know that story?
No, I didn't know this. Story.
That's the real story.
I was curious.
No, that's neat. That's neat. So 1980, the band started.
Yep.
And here we are 44 years later.
Stop saying that.
And they're still together.
I know, right?
And they're still together.
Yeah.
And we're going to go into, Mandy says she doesn't care for in wheelchairs. She'll wheel us out to the stage. So I guess we're in it for a little bit longer.
So she can break them once in a while?
Oh man, can she?
Really?
Yeah, that little girl, she can hang with the best of them when it comes to BB.
Jim, I just want to say, adding her to your group made such a difference in the quality of the show. Lou, Aretha Franklin, she can nail it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Etta James, to me,
yeah,
I love her music. I love gospel and soul, and she can, man, I'll tell you, Manny, move right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
She's a wonderful, wonderful person. Besides having a kind of talent that most people get full of themselves with, not an inkling of that with her.
Nice.
She's just straightforward.
How long has she been?
She's
been with you now, what, 10 years?
18.
That's what I said. She's been with you 18 years?
Yeah. I thought she said 10.
I did.
My wife says I need
that too.
Oh, okay. I thought I needed my hearing aid because my wife says I need hearing aids.
So don't I.
We all do at this point.
Yeah.
What?
You said what?
No, but anyway, it was nice because she was as green as the grass outside, and she just turned into a consummate professional. Every way you can think of it.
Working with professionals.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Osmosis.
Sure. There you go.
How far do you guys travel to do gigs? You have a circle that you stay within?
Yeah, I we went up as far as the mountains. We went down to the Cape. We'll go as far as maybe Connecticut, Maine.
So 120 miles, 125.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I would say that we're we do weddings here and there. We do Christmas parties, birthday parties, surprise parties, divorce parties, pool parties, wherever
divorce
they want
parties.
us.
Yeah, divorce parties.
We did a few. Yeah, wherever they want us, we go. And here's the thing: a lot of people think, "Oh, they're 11 pieces. Where are we going to put them?" We fit on a postage stamp. Trust me, and we have. We have fit in very small areas, and if they're small, we go acoustic. Like we won't mic the horns. The only thing we'll mic is the vocals, and of course, an electric piano because it needs it.
Yep.
Your arrangements, I don't know who does them, who sets them up, but man, I'll tell you, you talk about tight arrangements, they're beautiful. I mean, everything just bing, bing, bing. I just love. Who does the arrangement?
Here we go. Mike Grady does great arrangements. He's on trombone. Trumpet player Russ Ryan does great arrangements, and Lou Garofalo, our other sax player, does great arrangements. So it's basically for the horns between them three. And on the rhythm section, those guys just put their heads together and take the music where it's going to go.
When you get out to play, how do you know what songs are going to, the people that are out there, it's going to reach?
All right, so I'm the guy that writes the set list. Sometimes people, sometimes the band members like it, sometimes they don't. But for the most part, when I picture the audience, I'm looking at the demographics.
Okay.
So
which is the way to do it.
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be people our age, 70s, 80s. So I got to reach back for that. And then I try to put songs in from the 20s right up until today. So I would start, say, with Motown, some Motown material. Then I'd go to Frank Sinatra. Then I might go to Etta James, and I might go to Adele or someone like that.
So you go somewhat modern, then you take a step back, and then you
Yes.
go forward again.
When does the set list come together?
I usually sit at my table. I spread out all the set lists that we ever did because I don't
Yep.
want to really keep on repeating it. And then once I get it set out, I just send it out to everybody. And then Mandy, being Mandy, she redoes it and sends it out in the right keys, all the keys so everybody, so no one starts in the wrong key when we start the set,
That's funny.
which I love her for that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. The horns, I can't say enough. I love horns in a band.
I do too.
I just think it's so cool. I just love it. Back in
I
the
want to go back to. I'm sorry, Mike.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to the arrangement part of it. When you have a song that doesn't naturally have horn parts in it, how do you approach that?
I go to the well. I either call Mr. Grady, our trombone player, say, Mike, can you do something with this? And if he teaches music at school, so if he's really busy and he can't do it, then my next go-to guy is Russ Ryan.
Yeah.
But Mike keeps it simple, dynamic, as does Russ as well. But Mike's, I think, does more of the arrangements than Russ does.
Because I almost like it more when a song has new horn parts than a
Yes.
song that naturally has horns.
Right.
It just kind of, I don't know, it
Yes.
just feeds the song. It's incredible.
Absolutely
You got
does.
garage band type of songs, traditional rock type of songs.
Yeah,
and you
even
add
like
the
when we
horn
do
parts in
the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Exactly. Add horns to that.
We do.
Awesome.
We have
Yeah.
horns for that. It's actually like the Batman thing, da 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 da
Yep.
da, like that, But we do add horns to that. We add horns to "Miss You," with a harp is playing da 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 da.
Nice.
We put all the horns on that line, So we do a lot of that. And like I was saying earlier, with Hallelujah, there's no horns in that. But what Mike did is pretty much gave us a nice string section-y kind of sound on that. And it's I get chills when I play it. I don't care if
concept. You're sitting in a bar and going, "Do we add horns to Hallelujah?" Everyone's going to go, "No, you don't do that." And then you get it done, and it's like, "Oh yeah, it's beautiful."
Awesome. Yeah. I to this day, I've been playing it now for a good 10 years, and I still get chills when I play it because of the arrangement and the way she sings it and the way it builds up. And it's just an iconic song to do something like that with.
Yep.
What kind of songs are people that are coming to the feast? Yeah, I'm losing my voice. People are coming to the feast. What are they going to hear?
They're going to hear anything from Frank Sinatra to Ray Charles to Joe Cocker to Motown's. We're going to do R&B. We're going to do rock. We're going to do swing. We're going to do some standards like Wonderful World, which Louie and Mandy kill because they trade off on that.
That's great.
And it. I mean, that's how can you not like Wonderful World?
Yep.
The lyrics itself can take you back 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years when you listen to it. I mean, that's what music does to me. When I hear a song, I can put myself in that spot, what age I was at when I heard it. Much like the JFK assassination.
Motown has to be fun because it's part of everybody's DNA. I don't care how young you are because your parents listen to it. There's a point there. And when they hear these songs for the first time, and God knows how long it's been, they must love it, especially live. Motown live is awesome.
Yes. Yeah. We do a medley that ties a couple of 3 songs in.
Yep.
Then we do some standalone. We do some Bruce Springsteen. We do some Bob Seger. Those just mix it up. So we try to hit everybody's taste.
When you see people stand up and singing along and dancing, it has to be awesome to be on that stage where you are looking out. We were talking about earlier about the common shows, to see that many people and to have to get on the stage and do the introductions or whatever the case might be, looking out and seeing everybody smiling. It was so rewarding to me because it's a lot of work. I have such respect for outdoor shows, which I never did before. I took them for granted. They're a lot of work. They are an awful lot of work, So in Lawrence, September 1st, your show is approximately 8 o'clock, I believe.
Yes, 8 o'clock to 9:30.
And you're doing a 90-minute set?
Yep.
Wow, it's a lot of music.
Which usually ends up being probably
9:30ish.
maybe 100-minute set because we always add some extra songs in there.
No, not you.
Not us.
No.
Getting back to what you were talking about, it's the audience's appreciation that makes it worth doing. I think that's the main reason why this band's been together for 44 years. It's definitely not the money. It's the appreciation that's thrown back at us from the audience that makes it all worth it.
Well, the one thing I have to say, and I've said this to you before, and to John Tomaselli, the B Street Bombers will draw a crowd after being out there for a long, long day on a Sunday. And it's hot. That Common Street, the sun beats in you all day long. And if you're putting on a show at 8 o'clock at night, you put some people up there, there'll be a very, very small handful of people. You put these guys up there, you draw and you keep. And it's wonderful for the vendors that pay for a spot to sell their foods and merchandise on the street. And so you guys close many, many times by design because
very proud of it.
We know, and you should be.
When they show up, now it's a party. It's basically the vibe of it, right?
Yeah.
That's funny because that's what Joe Delisle says. He goes, "You guys are the party band. That's why we got to have you last."
Joe Delisle's a character.
I said, Joe, wherever you want to stick me, I'm down with it. I'm just happy to be part of that whole thing.
Is he in charge of the entertainment now?
I believe he is. He has a big voice in it because he's the one that we've been conversing with.
Yeah. And so he probably is.
Yeah, and I just told him, hey, I'm a Laurentian. I grew up on this feast. I've had plenty of sauces and cutlet down here.
There you go.
And I'm more than happy to put my horn to it.
Yeah, it's got to be fun being part of that after growing up with it, right?
It's probably my favorite gig out of all of them because of that reason, because we are part of Lawrence. Most of the musicians in this band either lived in Lawrence at what time, or they lived in Methuen, or they're now living in New Hampshire, but we're pretty local.
And I love that the feast has gone less traditional Italian and just embracing people and bringing them in and adding to the festival a good time part of it.
I think, in my opinion, you should have some Italian.
Of course, yeah.
You have to have some, but you got to have a balance. You got to draw people my age.
Right.
You got to draw people your age. Like he said, you have to appeal to everybody. And, sometimes you can pull it off. Sometimes you can't, because you may think you have a winner and the show falls flat because the entertainer wasn't interacting with the crowd that you drew. And on that note, Jim, why don't you tell everybody we're going to go to break?
Everybody, I think we're going to break.
All right. Come on to your show.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverbeef.com.
This Labor Day weekend, bring your entire family for the 101st Annual Feast of the Three Saints in Lawrence. The best Italian food, free parking and entertainment, and carnival rides for the kids. Stop by the Beer and Wine Gardens and enjoy a great lineup of entertainment. On the bandstand Friday night at 7, it's the Full Circle Band, followed by Scanzonati at 8. The Bellas perform at 6 on Saturday night, and at 8, it's Ray Mass's Euro Rhythms. At 4:30 on Saturday, stop by the Cultural Tent for a cooking demonstration with Chef Oscar Figueros from Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, and the B Street Bombers close out this year's feast entertainment Sunday night at 8:30. Come celebrate over 100 years of Italian food, fun, and entertainment at this year's Feast of the Three Saints, August 30th through September 1st in Lawrence. Follow the signs from the Marston Street exit on 495. Sponsored in part by Eastern Salt Company, Trident, Jackson Lumber and Millworks, Tripoli Bakery, Market Basket, Cotadella Funeral Home, JG's Ice Cream and Fun Center, Donna's Sausage, and Wind Waste. Visit threesaintsinc.org.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Cotadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Cotadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
house-made ravioli with farm fresh local corn,
and buttery tender Lazy Man's lobster, just to name a few.
you have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at 4 Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. We're talking B Street Bombers, baby. B Street Bombers. Where are you guys going to be performing in the next 4 weeks or so?
Next date is tomorrow, Saturday, at Salisbury Beach in the center, outside.
Ooh.
And then the following day,
Nice.
we're at Hampton Beach at the Seashell stage. Then I think August 7th, we're at Milford, New Hampshire in the park. And August 8th, we're at Field of Dreams in Salem, New Hampshire. And then September 1st, the one and only Feast of the Three Saints, my favorite.
There you go. There you go.
Beach
That's
season
great.
is fun, isn't it?
Oh, my God. Just looking at all the different people, and it has become multicultural at this point, which I love because, I mean, let's face it, Lawrence is a melting pot of immigrants. That's what built the city. That's what built this country. So to me, it encompasses that whole thing. And then, of course, the music being just, again, window dressing, brings it all together with the food and the entertainment, like the rides and all the different vendors out there. It's just a great time.
This year, Tony Parmesan and the crew, they've got a carnival that's going to be set up. And we haven't had a carnival at the feast probably for about 7 or 8 years, if not longer. And the reason for that is a lot of them are not in business anymore.
Yeah.
So, if you have children and you bring them to the feast, now, you have something that'll take quite a bit of their time. So that's a great thing. I think that's a huge plus this year for the society. And it's a lot of work, for 3 days. But, when it comes together the way it's supposed to, it's very rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. I can't say enough.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear of, I know there's 10 years difference between us, Mickey and Larry and the Exciters?
Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
I think early B Street, I want to say either late 80s or 90s, we did something for one of them. I was having medical issues. It might have been Larry.
Larry Altop.
And he actually came up and sang with us a couple of tunes.
Yeah, he's doing
You guys
great.
are there now. Like I asked you about Max Mob before the show, and Mickey, Larry, and the Exciters. You guys, the B Street Bombers, are there. And I would have said in the 80s that no band's ever going to get there again around here, being that iconic. But you're right in that group with those bands.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point you're making.
Yeah, that is a good point.
It seemed like that whole era aged out.
Yeah, we're kind of like a rerun of Andy and Mayberry or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, you're much hipper than that.
We've been around for so long and cycled so many different songs. I mean, we forgot more songs than most people can play. But it's just wonderful to be able to get up there, even if it is the gazebo tour, for the most part, in the summertime. It's just nice to keep on doing it and doing it in that fashion where we have 11 pieces. We can do everything. We can go swing. We can add horns to rock songs that don't have horns and the like.
That's interesting.
Yep.
So
the Exciters, boy, when they got it going, that horns, oh God, they were good. How many horns did they have in that group?
I think it was 4, wasn't it?
I thought it was 6, but
Was
I
it?
might be wrong.
We have 5, and on occasion we have 6 when I bring in Louis Machuca.
Louis Machuca.
Yeah, I bring him in every now
I
and then.
love him.
Yeah,
I
he's
love him. What a
great
character.
Great entertainment, and our tenor sounds with me and him, rock solid. I mean, me and him could just play, and I'd be happy because we complement each other so much like that.
Yeah, he has it.
Yeah.
We
But
try.
remember the days, these guys at the Hat Shell now. Remember the 5 o'clock lounge in Salisbury with these big bands just stuffed in there with the horns and stuff, and the casino at its height.
Yeah.
Before the air conditioning was put in. I still love the casino, but before the air conditioning was put in, it was a great venue. And it's like those are great nights with those bands going and just the sea breeze. And it was great.
Yeah, we did our stint at the old 5 o'clock M'Taboo. We had 4 horns. Louis was in that band.
Another band like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a little guy, DC, David Cherry, who danced and sang like James Brown.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that.
In fact, I might be calling him into the feast just so we can do a couple of James Brown songs. And,
Awesome.
No, really?
Yeah. He'd more than happy to become up. I also added another guitar player just for that gig alone. Charlie Poulot, who's a very good guitar player. Him and my other guitar player, Jimmy Bass, really play well together. And I just like, they don't step on each other. They complement each other. So it's not a wash of music. It's just nice, leveled sound.
But with a band that size, the guitar player isn't carrying it. They're just accenting. They can be a little bit more light with it.
Yes,
right?
they could play in between.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And, like what did Duke Ellington say? Silence is just as big as a note.
Yep.
Pretty, I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically that.
Yep.
No question about it. I just wanted to say, Mickey and Larry missed such a golden opportunity. They had been together for 12 years, and they were actually invited to come on the Johnny Carson show.
Wow.
And that would have really been huge for them. And something happened. I have no idea, but they showed up late.
You don't do that.
No.
The producer says, "You're not going on." End of conversation.
Yep.
That was it.
No.
I mean, I saw them for the first time. Peppermint Lounge, they used to do two shows on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Two. I used to work on Saturdays and Saturday nights. So I'd get out of work about 9:30 at night, jump in the car, shoot up to Salisbury to meet my wife and her girlfriends up there at the Peppermint Lounge, because they went gaga over Mickey and Larry.
Yeah.
Mickey was a good looking dude.
And they were
do all those flips and everything.
Dynamic entertainers. I was just going to say that. Dynamic.
Absolutely. But I saw them in Las Vegas, Lou.
Oh, really?
At the Hilton International. And I loved them. And this is after I saw them at the Peppermint Lounge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they played the Flamingo too, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, they were up there.
Oh, yeah.
But that Johnny Carson thing, if it would have went the way it was supposed to, and they would have played to the nation, I mean,
would have
put
them over.
They opened for Tom Jones. I mean, they were Liza Minnelli. They did a show for Liza. It's great. Hey, you know something? Where's the time go? No. We got a few minutes. How can people access your homepage or your Facebook, or what's your
well, bstreetbombers.com if you want to see where we're playing, scheduling, if you want to hear some songs that we have up there, some samples, just to see what the band's like. And again, we do everything from weddings to pool parties and outdoor shows,
Divorce parties, yep.
Christmas parties.
That I like. That's cool.
Yeah, some people, they celebrate it.
You're being serious?
Yeah, I guess it was acrimonious or something, and they said, "Hey, let's have a party. It's over."
I think if you have kids, that's kind of a delicate.
Well, let me put it this way: they didn't have children at the time. I think it only lasted like a year. It was a quick one, so there wasn't too much damage left.
But apparently
behind.
eventful.
Yeah, and it was, at the guy's house, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
I bet. Somebody's having, say, an anniversary or, say, a special date birthday. Like, for instance, I got a big birthday coming up in January. Say I want to throw a birthday party for myself and invite some friends. To get the kind of sound that you produce without interrupting the show too much, your presentation, can you get by with 5 pieces? No.
Well, in that context, I would say hire the rhythm section with the 2 singers, which would be like 6 pieces.
6 pieces.
Yeah. I would. Yeah. I don't hold anyone back. If someone's budget or they're afraid that the band is too big, I have no problem downsizing it.
Well,
but you need a rhythm section, and I would recommend both singers.
If you're going to have 80, 100 people, you can't really, and you're picking up the tab.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of much,
Right, exactly.
So you're saying a rhythm section with a vocalist?
With both vocalists.
Both vocalists.
To cover the night, sure. I would do, yeah. That would be very doable. you'd still get a great show. Of course, you wouldn't have the horns. And again, if it's a problem of space, don't ever worry about that, because like I told you, we fit on postage stamps before. Space is not an issue. We always figure that out. You know, if it's the money, and if it's someone like my buddy over here, Mike, we can always talk turkey.
Everybody talks turkey with Mike.
Anything you want. But I'd love to have a night like that. I really would.
Well,
You know, I don't, you know, I
By the
don't.
pool, Mike?
Well, it's in January. What do I
Okay.
have ice skating?
No.
I
I
mean,
didn't know. I didn't
all you
know
have
that
to do
date.
is contact my brother, John Tomaselli, and he'll take care of you.
you know something? I love being with him. I love talking to him. The guy is funny without knowing it.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
really is.
Yeah.
I get a big kick out of it. I know the mayor of Methuen, they want to do a show in the out in the parking lot there at the Loop.
Yeah.
And I was instrumental in helping out
Thank you very much.
getting that gig. Actually brought in Tony Pace too one year. They loved him.
Is that the
Boy,
July
they did a
4th thing
great
they
job.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they'd go back to doing that. I love promoting shows. I enjoy it.
Well, we love you promoting us on shows.
I have nothing but
Maybe
admiration
they
for
need
you
a
guys.
manager, Mike.
Huh?
Maybe they need a booking manager.
Who?
We
No,
haven't
he's
had-
shaking his head
we
no.
haven't had one in,
They haven't had one yet.
we
They don't
haven't had
need
a booking manager since 1986.
Thomas Selly put something on Facebook. That's it. You
Yeah.
like it? Call me. You don't like it? Don't call me.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
But he's funny. Hey, my friend,
My friend.
continue success. And I look forward to seeing you September 1st
Thank you very much.
around 8 o'clock at night at the Feast of the Three Saints. And that's at the corner of Union and Common. And be like old times.
Always love old times. I love living in the past as much as the future.
You know something? A little bit of this, a little bit
A
of
little
that.
bit of that, and life
And
goes on.
Life, and that's right. Que sera, sera.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Listen, thank you very much once again.
Thank you for having me.
I hope we can do this again.
I'm here.
Louis, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
too.
Enjoy this weather. It's supposed to be lovely. Saturday and Sunday, supposed to be perfect. It
Nice.
really is.
Louis, thank you.
Nice to
All
meet you,
right.
Jim.
Take care, everybody.
Take
And
care.
we'll be back next week, and we're going to Sicily. We're doing the show on Sicily.
Nice.
Estevada is going to be there. You don't have to get on a plane. You don't have to fly 4,358 miles.
Much
Oh,
like
you-
reading a book.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.
Take care.